Hey, y'all, just want to update you a little bit on a tool that we came up with that I think will make your life a lot easier and help you to track the information that we're actually mapping out in the labor pricing for profit software. One of the problem areas that we always run into is, so we come up with, in this case, our particular model, and I can see in my service department here, we've got a rate of $155 an hour. In the install department, we're looking for a 10% net profit. Now, if we look at those couple of items, right, I'll take my installation department here. We're at a 10% net profit. In order to do that, I need to charge $75.73 an hour. That will give me my 10% net profit. Now, one of the things that we always recommend at our workshops is that you now track the number of hours that you have. In this particular scenario, the $75 an hour is based on the fact that we think we're going to bill out 5,373 billable hours in the upcoming year. Now, the challenge is, we always tell you, okay, go ahead and track your actual billable hours, because this number, that labor rate, is only accurate if you track the hours that you thought you were going to. One of the other items that tools that we give you is the budget versus actual input report, right? So in this example, I'm projecting that I'm going to bill out, this is my service department, and so we're going to stick with the install department here. We're projecting that we're going to bill out 403 hours in January, 427 in February, and so on down the line. And you can actually then plot your actual hours. The problem comes up, it's sometimes kind of tough to actually track those actual hours that we have. On top of that, one of the other items is, let's say that we, as a general rule, we've created our model built around the fact that we're going to have let's say a 35% markup on my materials. One job they might price it out at 35% markup. The next one they might discount the materials at something a little bit less than that. Well, remember, material markup is offsetting a part of my overhead. So if I lower the material markup, not all my overhead is being covered. And so that got into a little bit more of a challenge in terms of tracking how many hours we actually build out. We've come up with a tool that will help you, and eventually this will be put into the software, but I wanted to at least share it with you at this point in time. So that tool basically is a quick, right now, an Excel spreadsheet, right? So with the Excel spreadsheet, I can see that I've got it up, and I've just simply built it out so you can put in up to 6 departments in here. So the way that I would use this is I would simply come in and say, okay, this is for my installation department. Okay, got that. Now you'll notice the 2 columns that are filled in here already. So in my model that we put together, you simply default the material markup and the target labor rate to what we have in our labor pricing for profit software, right? So I'm just going to come back to my software for a moment, and I'll see 2 items, right? So I'm going to go into my reports, go into the net profit analysis report up there at the top, right? So when I run that report, I can see in my installation department, shooting for this 10% net profit, we need to charge $73.73, $75.73, right, is my target labor rate. That's what I'm shooting for. And then the other number that we have to look at is, what is our target, the material markup that we said that we built our model around. So in my install department, my markup was 54%. Right, so those are the 2 numbers that we're going to be adding into our particular model, right? So I'm going to come back to my spreadsheet. Our material markup is actually 54%, and our target labor rate is $75.73. Right? The nice part about this now is at the end of each month, you don't have to worry about tracking individual jobs or tracking service calls or anything like that. In this case, this is my install department. At the end of the month, I can come back and what were my total revenues for the install department, right? So let's say in my install department, we invoiced out, let's say I'm going to pick a number, right? $75,000, right? We plug that number in. The second number that I put in is, what were my actual material costs? Right, so my actual material costs, let's say, were $20,000. Boom. Plug those couple of numbers in, and what the spreadsheet will do for you is way over here, right? Let me just get out of your way, right? So right here, based on the apples to apples comparison, the model that I created using the target labor rate and my typical material markup, I actually build out a grand total of 583 hours and 583.7 hours for the year, or for the month. Right? So that way I can very quickly, just knowing my total revenue for the month, right, and my total material cost, not sell, but cost, that was used for the month in this department. That number is the number that in my tracking reports that I would simply now add in for my install department, right? That's the number that I would enter in right there. All right, so we actually had 583 hours, right? That's the number I'd plug in right there. It's simply a very quick, easy way to come up with that number without having to track stuff throughout the entire year, and it takes into account the fact that I may have reduced a markup on this particular job or increased it on another job or changed the labor rate a little bit. This is backing that, all that information back down to an apples to apples comparison to what I built my model around. I think you're going to find that it'll make that process much easier and help keep your numbers a little bit more accurate. Let me know if you have any questions. Give our office a call, 877-202-8891, or go ahead and shoot me an email at billkennard@grandyassociates.com. Have a great day.